The US Congress is launching an inquiry into why no one told Congress or the White House that the US Defense Secretary had been hospitalized. It was revealed on Tuesday that Lloyd Austin is in hospital getting treatment for prostate cancer. President Biden was not initially told that his top military advisor will be out of commission for several days. White House officials say there are no plans to replace Austin, but call the situation not optimal. Let's go to the White House. Arlette Saenz, trying to make sense of this. It does seem extraordinary that such an important position could be out of action without even the Commander-in-Chief knowing.
Yeah, it certainly does. And that is what is prompting this review of the incident, where the Defense Department waited several days to notify not just the public, but most importantly, President Biden, that Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin had been hospitalized. Now, there has been a slow disclosure of the timeline of these events, with yesterday the Pentagon, through a statement from Walter Reed Medical Center, announcing that Lloyd Austin had been diagnosed with prostate cancer, and that is what the initial procedure that he underwent on December 22nd was about. Then following that, he experienced, beginning on January 1st, severe pains, including nausea and other pain, and that is what led to the complications that has now kept him in the hospital since that date. Now we're learning that the White House had pushed the Pentagon right after they had learned about Austin's hospitalization last Thursday. The White House senior officials, including the Chief of Staff Jeff Zients and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, had pushed the Pentagon to release a statement as soon as possible. They believed it was imperative that the Pentagon begin working to notify the public after leaving people in the dark for 4 days. We're also learning that Jake Sullivan learned about Austin's hospitalization just before he was slated to attend an event with Austin last Thursday. It was just before that where he learned that he was in fact in the hospital. So there's still a host of questions that need to be answered. They've started to disclose some of the medical conditions that Austin was experiencing, but there are still major gaps in explaining why it took so long to notify the White House and other Pentagon senior officials about his hospitalization and the reason for that.
Can I just ask, was there a system for replacing him if he became incapacitated within the Department of Defense, or was there not even that?
Well, Deputy Defense Secretary Kathleen Hicks did assume some of the duties of Defense Secretary while he was in the hospital, but she was not initially informed why she was doing that. She assumed some of the duties beginning on January 2nd, the day after Austin entered the hospital, but it was not until Thursday that she was notified that the reason why was because he was hospitalized. Now, there are two reviews underway at this moment. The Pentagon, Austin's Chief of Staff, said that they would be conducting a 30-day review into the incident to outline the timeline for why this notification did not occur. But then there is also a review that was requested by White House Chief of Staff Jeff Zients, who sent a memo to all of the heads of each agency within the government asking them to review their protocols for designating authority and also for notifying the White House. It's clear that they're trying to set some formal protocols to be followed going forward, especially as the Pentagon is conducting their own review. It's likely that there will be congressional hearings at some point into this matter, as we've heard lawmakers up on Capitol Hill demanding more answers.